Hi, welcome to Reno, Nevada. This is the middle of March. Holy smokes. It's called the J Resort. That's the Jacobs Entertainment right here. Down there, that's the Retrack project. When they buried the railroad underground like in 2003. It used to flow right up here on the surface. So we're at the corner of Arlington and 3rd Street. Right here. I'm going to take you on a whole loop around this whole block here. Look at all the stuff that's no longer here. A bunch of old mom and pop motels. That's the Sundowner right there. So we go all the way around. Check out the Sundowner at the end. Anyway, a bunch of old cool buildings out here too. That's the World Mark. Holy moly. This guy here is called the 3rd Street Flats. He's called the King's Inn right here. First opened without a gaming license in 1974, called the King's Inn Hotel. Then granted a license in August of 1975. 150 slot machines and 12 table games, a restaurant, dancing in the lounge, and $25,000 keno. There's a pool in the back and a beautiful, well-furnished rooms. So sadly, our kings that couldn't compete with the new El Dorado and the Circus. So less than 9 years later, casino closed in 1982. 1986, the building failed to meet fire codes, so it was shut down, abandoned for almost 3 decades. The owners had planned to convert it to condominiums, but defaulted on a $3.5 million loan in 2011. Anyway, finally remodeled in 2014 to 2016. And here we are in August 2015, the original King's Inn Casino ghost sign. And here we are in October, completely gutted, exterior windows removed. And all we have is support columns, ceilings, and floors. And today it's the 3rd Street Flats, super clean, safe, lots of metered parking. Now leasing the place on the corner, right there. And across West Street, the El Dorado parking structure way down there, this was the Reno Motel, probably built in the early 1950s. This is the largest of our downtown motels, extended all the way down to Sierra Street. An imposing 3-story brick structure, 85 rooms, TV, front rooms they face south towards the train tracks. Anyway, torn down for the El Dorado expansion. And here we are in 1988 looking west. That's from the former site of the Harold's Club Pigeonhole parking garage. Virginia Street along the railroad tracks. On the right is the El Dorado. Across over Sierra Street. On the corner we have our Reno Motel. Across West Street is the King's Inn. In the distance is the Sands Regency. That's our J Resort today, owned by Jacobs Entertainment. On the corner of West and 3rd in the open parking lot here, this is the old Townview Motor Lodge. That was built in 1956. Also faced the railroad tracks. 2-story brick building, 79 rooms, linear layout, walking distance casinos and entertainment. Big neon sign up front, Townview Motor Lodge. In the later years, it was used for low-income housing. Until the city inspectors, they closed it up. Lots of mice, cockroaches, bed bugs. Some rooms didn't even have flooring, even hot water. Ceilings are all caving in. Anyway, Jacobs, they bought it and tore it down in 2021. Back across West Street, right here to the right of the King's Inn, this is Harry's Business Machines. 323 West Street, called HBM Technology Partners today. Started out as 1928 as Harry's typewriter shop, another part of town, opened by a guy named Harry Foote. They moved up here in West Street in 1949. Great little local favorite outlet. It's one of Reno's longest running businesses and still in the family business today. And back across West Street, here we have the Park and Walk Motel. Still here. Another mom and pop with a great neon sign. 2 stories, linear layout. On the front, we used to have these funky round globes and a colorful yellow doors. Basically, you could park and walk to the nearby casinos. Entertainment done by the Reno Arch. And next door, this is the Reno Royal Motor Lodge. Merged with the Park and Walk, so you could share a common parking lot. Built around the late 50s, early 60s. 2-story, linear, red brick building, individual heat, free TV, carpet, and only 1 block to the clubs. Anyway, today, I think it survives as low-income housing. Back on our side here, another look at Harry's. Just ahead, this parking lot, we used to have 2 mom-and-pop motels here. First one is called the Keno Motel number 2. That was built in 1964. To the right, this is the older City Center Motel. That was built in 1957. Both are just 2-story little structures, sort of fancy, Googie style, space age neon signs sitting up front along West Street. Across the street again, the parking lot. This is the Rainbow Motel. pretty small, nondescript, two-story, red brick linear building. Pretty much a mirror image of the Reno Royal next door. Anyway, great looking neon sign up front, little rainbow on top there, and moving flashing arrow directs you to the office. And hey, over here, let's check out this little guy. This is the oldest house in Reno. Still sits on its original lot of land called the Benham-Belz house. Purchased for $200 by the Benham family in 1868. Craftsman style, little one-story, raised foundation. Here's our insurance map from 1885. It shows our block here. Used to all be residential. It's labeled DWG. That's for dwelling. And she is again in 1986. That's just before Jacobs took over. The lovely garden, great looking back porch. We're relaxing here. Anyway, it's all closed up, so you can't really get in today. And then finally, on the side of the street at West and 4th Street, is our parking lot here. This was the Cabana Motel, owned by G.D. Martin and R.B. Gogler. I think it goes back as far as 1940. Two-story, L-shaped, accents of red, yellow, and green along the balcony and the doors. Got a new modern 15 units with tile baths, wall-to-wall carpeting, individually controlled heat and air. Only one block to town. Got two unique signs, one in the parking lot. That's our neon Cabana Motel flashing arrow. The other of the office is the older style Cabana Motel on a large pole, sort of satellite gizmo on top there. Advertising free TV. Across 4th Street, up there, that's our abandoned Bonanza Inn, opened in 1968 by Walter and Patrice Gorman. The original building was a 4-story, 58 units, 21,000 square feet, small L shape, little canopy over the office, brown shield-like Bonanza sign, right in front there. And the city officials, they threatened to close it down in 2022 for numerous code violations. And then Jacobs Entertainment, they bought it. Little auction as a teardown, and it's still here though, but permanently closed. Today the building looks a lot the same, a little more run down though. And I think there's plans to convert it to low-income housing, maybe just tear it down altogether. I don't really know. Anyway, across the street, where we are right here, it's a Marty Gro Motor Lodge. That opened in 1964. 2-story, main office up front, little drive-through canopy for the office. Got a neon bow tie-like sign with a gizmo satellite guy on top there. Has sort of a New Orleans theme. Mostly jesters painted on the walls. I think they closed in 2015 for code violations, then demolished in 2018 by Jacobs. Now it's home to our Burning Man art statue bubble-looking thing. And that's from the Burning Man Festival. It's part of this whole Jacobs 4th Street neon line renovation project trying to accomplish out here. And then back across 4th Street, next Bonanza, this is the old Sundowner. Been closed up for a long time. Sort of had a cottage type feel, 2-story, soft palette color scheme. Later was more brown. The building behind the motel, that's the old Central Junior High School. All this was demolished in 1975, replaced with the 11-story Sundowner Hotel and the casino up front a few months later. But up until 1978, this was the largest hotel in Reno. The high school was replaced by the Sundowner's North Tower in 1979. The whole place closed down in 2003 and then converted to apartments. In 2008, during a renovation project, had a big fire right outside the tower here. After the fire was put out, and a further renovation stopped because they ran out of money from the economic recession. And the Belvedere, well, it opened in the original tower for a short time, but today, I think it's all closed up. I believe the city has plans to turn this into multi-use, low-income housing, something like that. And over here at the dog park, we had 2 motels here. First we had the in-town motel, and that was next to the Marty Gras. They promote the proximity to casinos. They had the word in-town in the name, a little short 2 blocks to downtown. And a 2-story, L-shaped, big neon sign up front, advertised doubles, queens, and kings. On the right, we have another doggy park, corner of Arlington. This was the Lido Inn, opened in 1978. 3-story, U-shaped, rooms on top, parking down below. It's not too inviting though. And the Lido, that was torn down in 2018, and today we got a little Burning Man statue, lady-looking thing here. So I head south down Arlington back to Kings Inn. And in the meantime, we got this J Resort parking lot. This was the El Rey, opened in 1946. One of the biggest motels on the block. Large central courtyard holding a parking lot, and the Spanish roof tiles give it a little more character than our other mom and pops out here. The owners, they tried to fix it up in 2016. A little fresh coat of fresh paint, but that didn't do much, and our motel was demolished in 2018 like all the other casualties out here on this block. Anyway, so this whole block is owned by Jacobs Entertainment. In 2018, they had a huge plans to renovate this whole area, some sort of Lincoln Highway Gateway District tourist location. Anyway, complete with apartments for young professionals, had a neon museum, community marketplace bazaar, boutique shops, huge plunge pool, even a little performance stage. Anyway, not sure that's going to happen anymore. Who knows? And right near the end of the parking lot, sort of where the back alley goes behind the 3rd Street Flats, this was another Keno Motel called the Keno Motel No. 1. That opened in 1955. Anyway, backs up to the Keno Motel No. 2. On the other side, it faces West Street. It started out as a yellow 2-story drive-under canopy entrance, fancy neon sign up front, later remodeled to a more inviting appearance. Here we had the El Rey next to the Keno, just before being demolished in 2018. And on the right, that's the Silver Legacy, and way in the back, that's our Circus Tower. Hey, so here we are back at 3rd Street Flats. Whole loop around the block. That was pretty cool, seeing all those amazing old relics that aren't here anymore. The King's Inn Casino and Hotel. So I don't know what's going to happen with all this vacant lot here with Jacobs Entertainment, what they're going to do. Maybe another giant casino, another part of the J Resort right up here. That was called the Sands back in the old days where it's all torn out. Anyway, that's what we got right here. The King's Inn, 3rd Street Flats in the city of Reno, Nevada. All right, so I hope you liked that video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.